What would you do if the government took your family's home, did nothing with the land for 3 decades, and then developed it for a profit?
Boone County is building a major new road, and the airport now owns hundreds of acres of soon-to-be prime real estate. 9 News anchor Brendan Keefe is here now with the I-Team exclusive. Brendan?
Get out now. That's what the families say they were told by the airport. Some had their land taken, others sold under threat of eminent domain condemnation. But now the airport is planning to develop those old farms along a new road they gave to the county free of charge.
The airport condemned our property and told us we had to move.
Spent my whole life here.
The families are gone, the land empty, their homes bulldozed long ago. This is a sad and lonely place right next to our international airport.
Kind of breaks your heart to drive by there.
Betty Salih's old place was right here. The airport took it more than 20 years ago.
We were told that once they took the property and condemned it, that there was never to be anything put on the property. It was to remain vacant.
And much of the land taken from homeowners and farmers remained empty for decades. Until Boone County started plowing through it to build a brand new multi-lane road.
It will open up land for job creation and be a tremendous reliever of congestion.
Boone County Judge Executive Gary Moore says the new South Airfield Road will connect Kentucky 18 with Turfway and Houston roads, bypassing clogged intersections.
It opens up hundreds of acres of property along the south part of the airport. Land that could very easily be industrial sites.
The largest landowner who stands to profit? The Cincinnati Northern Kentucky International Airport. In fact, the airport gave more than 100 acres to Boone County for the new road, an investment that could soon pay big dividends.
Allowing them to lease land and create jobs and do some things that would stimulate their budget as well as the community. It's perfect timing to be doing that.
Well, it just ain't right. I mean, they take it for a small amount, and now they're turning it around, and who knows what they're going to get for it.
Richard Bowe grew up on a 240-acre farm.
All this in here was our property.
His father sold all but 2 acres to the airport back in 1977.
Oh, yeah, he had to sell. Yeah, it was sell or else.
Now, to build the road, the county is buying another 1/3 of an acre, slicing off a corner of the small parcel he has left.
This is all part of our old place here.
Back in the 1970s, when the airport first acquired the Bowe property and its 238 acres, this was nothing but pastoral, inaccessible farmland. The airport did nothing with this property through the 1980s, the 1990s, and the 2000s. That is, until now. When this new road is finished, his father's old farm will suddenly become very valuable frontage real estate.
He could have developed the land and was going to develop it eventually. And when the airport came, said, no, they're going to take it, why? The developer wouldn't talk to him anymore.
The fight has spanned generations. Landholders draw up battle lines to fight airport expansion tactics. This Kentucky Post headline appeared 43 years ago when farmers asked, are the 4,000 acres necessary for the airport's future operations? For hundreds of those acres, we now know the answer was clearly no.
They did it to everybody. And then years later, they're going to turn around and they're going to make a profit off of the land they took from us. That's not right.
The Salih house was taken as buffer for a new runway. It will not be developed. But Betty feels for her former neighbors.
If they make a profit, then they should have given that profit to the last owner or whoever they condemned. They should get the profit, not the airport.
Actually, the airport can't sell the property, not without federal approval, and then they wouldn't keep a dime.
If the land was purchased with federal dollars, if they sell the property, those dollars from the sale go back to the feds. If they lease the property, then the revenue from the property stays local.
That's right. The airport can lease the land and keep all the money. In fact, the airport is already leasing this tiny slice of the old Bow Farm for a new ZF steering factory and warehouse right along the new road. The airport paid Bow $44,000 for these 11 acres in 1977. They'll collect more than $70,000 in rent the first year alone. The 38-year lease is worth nearly $3.5 million for just 5% of the acreage of the original farm.
Property's worth a lot more money now than certainly what they gave us for it.
Certainly, I understand the position of the families, and I do understand where they're coming from. My charge, however, is to operate this business as effectively as I can, and that's what we'll continue to do.
The ZF project alone will create nearly 400 new jobs, and the airport's own figures show the new road will open up 300 more acres of property it acquired from the old farms for development.
We can't talk to the whys or hows of what our airport leadership did back in the 1960s and 70s. What I can say, though, is thanks to their foresight to look to the future and buy this property, that this airport was able to grow over the last 50 years.
Our airport is such an economic engine to this region, and we need to do anything and everything we can to support them during these tough times.
Our homestead was here.
Why did the families have to move out right away when the airport would sit on this land for more than 3 decades before allowing large factories and warehouses to move in?
They condemned property, and then they're going to turn around and use it for gain. That's not fair.
Now, there are former farmers who are millionaires because they sold to the airport for tens of thousands of dollars an acre. But the airport recently went all the way to the Kentucky Supreme Court to get a widow's land valued as residential, claiming it was inaccessible for commercial use. Now the airport is providing commercial access through farms it bought, turning them from agricultural into industrial land. The widow's lawyer, by the way, Phil Tolliver, got her twice the money last year when justices agreed with his argument that, quote, the airport is a large, wealthy entity running roughshod over a poor, widowed woman. The new South Airfield Road is under budget and ahead of schedule. It will open to drivers at the end of next summer. Guys?